Hi, hello, how are you? And welcome to yet another episode of the IHNDY series. Now, we are in the year 2024. Most people say 2024. I think semantics, right? It's the same thing. So we are grateful to have this year here because growth means change and change means growth. And so walking into the new year, we're not just walking in. Someone told me that there's a difference between a new year and another year. So another year would mean that it's 31st December, then the following day is 1st January, and your life moves on. Yet a new year would mean that in this specific period of time, you are having things that you want to work on. So you begin on the 1st of January and you end on the 31st of January. So for 2024, what is it? What is it for you? Is it a new year or another year?
Well, the prefix new is good. That is to say, new has an element of starting again. It has element of originality. It clearly marks that it's a beginning, you know, and I will want to remain there. And as you have said it, something has to be done in whatever is new. Whatever is new, something has to be done in it. Goals have to be achieved, objectives have to be achieved, and whatever we are purposing in such a time has to be achieved. Maybe the best thing we can ever do is try see where we are, and I think there's no better way than now to check on what is it that I didn't achieve the previous year and that I want to carry forward. Probably I need to start with that. Probably lesson learned from the previous one has to be carried forward to this. You'll want to put that in perspective and clearly mark out. If anything, I will want to mark 3 important things I want to do this year. Get them right, this, and then to find out objectives. Objectives should help me to talk of something that is measurable, realistic, something achievable. Plans and action plans of achieving the bigger goal. Goal should be bigger than objective. So I will want to make sure I have 3 items to make a successful year. Even if I attain it by May, then for me I am done with the year.
So I hear you say you are someone who believes in New Year resolutions.
Loud and clear.
And apart from New Year resolutions, you have strategic plans for yourself. So what are some of the elements you have in your strategic plan? Like you want to work on A, B, C. What are the elements that you have in mind when you're making that New Year resolution?
Well, elements, I will want to consider things that I've taken for granted, things that I haven't worked on for some time.
No, I mean from a bigger perspective. For instance, when I'm making mine, 3 things come in mind. I want to work on my body, I want to work on my mind, and I want to work on my spirit. And so everything else stems from that. So what's yours?
I'll think of health. Health is important. I realize how so much sometimes I ignore that, and without that I can't do the things I do. I want to check again on my spiritual life, and I want again to check on my social life.
So health, spiritual life, and social life.
For a long time I've been investing in my head, in the mind and mind things. I want to check the other sector.
And so how exactly do you intend to work on these 3 items?
Well, health. If anything, how many times do I check on information and literature related to health and healthy lifestyle? How often do I check on whatever I put in my body? Lifestyle and nutrition. How often do I go for checkups? Now I just go for checkups. You say, can I screen my blood? But how often do I take of other elements of my health? So I want to try to be very specific. The things I've ignored is what I really want to bring in picture in all these aspects.
But there is a threat to us. All right, that's interesting and amazing. I'm not hearing you say anything about finances. Are you financially free? Oh, that's a story for another day.
How about that be number 4 and 5?
Okay.
If I'm not healthy, even if I have all that I need, the money and all that.
Someone told me that reading the Rich Dad Poor Dad, you heard of that book, and she was saying that the greatest lesson she got from that book is that yes, money is not everything, but it affects and influences everything.
Loud and clear.
And so financial literacy is something that most of us take for granted, but it's actually a thing, because straight from the time you wake up to the time you go sleep, money is involved. It's inevitable. Anyway, so that's for you as a person. What of IHNDY? What are we looking at?
IHNDY 2024 is a new year for us, and we want to do new things again, new topics, new concerns. I'm very energetic about this. I would like to, as we had mentioned earlier, we need to talk about human relationships. You realize 1,001 books have been written, but most of them, at the end of the day, someone is pointing to a relationship. Someone is pointing to how to live with others. So many books, in a scale, if you ask me, of 0 to 10, 6.5 out of 10 books are written because they are centered on human relationships. Most of things are achieved because of human relationships. And I think there's no better time than now to talk about this, human relationships. And also, it's a nice time also for IHNDY to bring in reviews, book reviews. We want to talk of books that challenge us on our purpose, meaning of life. We want to talk of books that challenges us on human relationships, on leadership, things that can help us make ourselves projects and better human persons to live in a 21st century world. If anything, if IHNDY can achieve the goal of helping you realizing your goals, then that's why we are here.
Sure. Yeah. And so, human relationships are important. You know, last year we were dealing with the mental wonderland, which was great in my opinion. And we are thinking that in every episode of Mental Wonderland, an element of human relationships had to come in. And so we're thinking of focusing our energies and efforts in exploring human relationships from an informed point of view. Because, you know, we live in a society and we are always interacting with people. But the question is, are we aware of the interactions we make? Are we interacting with them consciously, knowing those hidden, those invisible lines and invisible forces that inform and influence human relationships? For instance, at your workplace, at school, you know, in the community where you are, in the society where you are, you'll always experience somebody and you'll always have to relate with them. Because, you know, society is a give and take. You get to an office, you need something there, you're given something, someone comes to you, you give them your time, you give them your resources, you give them your energy, you take some from them. And so it's interesting, it's important for us to understand the unseen laws that govern the human interactions and human relationships. And so that's why we thought it wise to have that segment in our presentation this year, 2024. And we are hoping that it will be a learning experience for all of us. Also the book reviews, we want to get on non-fictional books and see how we can draw lessons from them. Books that challenge us to be better individuals, better people in society. Remember, our business is growth, you know, learning and growing consistently and every day. And so our plan for this year is, from what we have been doing, we also want to add these two elements. And I believe it will be an interesting journey.
Sure. I mean, we exist in social spaces, and social spaces mean interactions. Social spaces mean selling and buying something. I mean, we judge actions of other people. How do we judge actions of other people? One is by admiration. We admire whatever is good in other people. And two, by scandal. Other people scandalize us. So, I mean, because of those social spaces where we're interacting, selling and buying something, I think we can't avoid these discussions on human relationships. And I think this is amazing, and it's time we talk about it. But this time round, having a contemporary view of it, relationships have been a challenge to most of us, to many of us. Every single day, check on your WhatsApp status, someone is complaining about someone, somebody is saying about an enemy, somebody is talking about something that is related to someone. I mean, human relationships are that special because they get such lots of time and space in people's hearts and minds, and even work. So I think this is the way.
Quick question. You meet a stranger today, right now as we finish this video. Someone you don't know, never met, and it's only the two of you on that pathway. What's the first thing that comes to your mind?
I strike a rapport.
Right.
Now this is a stranger. I will go the easy way, traditional way, by a greeting.
Right.
Typical
of us.
Yeah. I start by a greeting. The greeting will tell much, you know. Some people are good, some people are good. You drop in hey, how are you? And they respond, they even add some few words. Sometimes you lean on those words that they have said to expand the conversation. Well, sometimes some people say hi. And you know right away the energies are different here.
Yeah. And you know, it's interesting. I read somewhere that the best friendships are those that you never saw coming. Yeah. Because as you've said, if the energy is reciprocated, more often, think about it, more often than not, you won't be so close. But the people you're closest to, the first time you met, you had nothing to do with each other.
Yeah. Strangers who became friends.
Yeah. The first day you met, you had nothing to do with each other. It was just a greeting and that's it.
And
then later, maybe 3 years later, 1 year later, 4 years later, you realize that this is the closest person in your life. You wonder how exactly, who designed this system?
For sure. Now it's easier for some people. Some people have more energies they share with the others. We call them extroverts. And some people have low energies. They are slow. Not that they have low energies. They are slow
to share their energy
to who they are. And those we call introverts. Maybe this is a discussion. I think somewhere.
That's our first episode on the human relationships.
Loud and clear.
We want to decode the laws that inform the first meeting of two individuals who don't know each other and see how they begin interacting from stage one. And we're hoping you'll be with us up to the end and see if you can learn a thing or two. Of course, we are going to get into research and understand human relationships from an informed point of view, as I stated earlier. So we are hoping that it will be an opportunity for all of us to learn. He'll do his research, I'll do mine, then we'll come compare notes, right?
Sure. Make sure you comment also. Let us know what you think about this. We want to make sure, if anything, this should be a masterpiece. You know, when we get out of here, we are challenged to name and change the narrative of our human relationships.
So for an introduction, you can close it from there.
Loud and clear.
And let's see you for that segment of human relationships. Make sure you stay along up to the end. So thank you, Jeff. We'll meet in the next episode.
Big up, mom.
All right.